Good evening, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Time is 6:31. You could all stand for the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chaplain Schmidt, if you lead us in prayer, please.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time, and I thank you for this board and this fire department. I just ask, Lord, for you give them guidance and wisdom and protection in what they do. We thank you for this community and for those that want to serve. Just watch over each and every one in their personal name.
Alright, meeting minutes. We need to review the minutes from 3/10/2026, our regular board meeting, and then our two special meetings that we held, one on 3/21 and 3/26. Did everybody have a chance to review those? I would like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes from, we'll start with the regular board meeting, 3/10/2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 3:10.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second on the floor to approve the minutes from March 10th, 2026. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. March 10th is passed. Special meetings, March 21st, 2026 and March 26th, 2026.
I can move that we approve those meetings, those minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second on the floor to approve the minutes from March 21st, 2026 and March 26th, 2026. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Pass.
On me?
Treasurer's report.
All right, so if you guys want to turn to page 14. And I'm gonna have a couple of things that I'm gonna ask you guys about. But we'll just go over the balances first. And of course, these reflect from the 31st. Checking 21,573, Chiefs account 19. Have we moved any more into that Chiefs account, Janine?
No.
Alright. And then money market 185,379. We did receive taxes for the month on about the 10th. We got notification on the 9th. Got them in the account. So the next, that's gonna go directly into checking for around $67,000. I've been in conversation with the bank on a few things, and I wanted to hand you guys what they are. I hope we have. You got two? And so I've been in contact with Annette Gallegos, and I'm not 100% sure what her title is, but she's quite a ways up there. She's who I was referred to, because I had a memory lapse from previous special district involvement, and I couldn't remember the 250,000 FDIC insurance thing, and so I called up and got to Annette. And since we're tax dollars, the 250 really doesn't matter to us, because they have to guarantee our funds 100%. So if we have $1 million in there, they guarantee that we have $1 million. But it costs them a lot of money to do that, because they have to go out and find an insurance policy. And what they are doing, and what a lot of the special districts and towns are doing, is this intra-fi, to where we move money, we set a amount that we want in the money market. So let's just use $10,000 as an example. We'll set that limit at 10,000. We'll have the rest of the money set in this intra-fi, gaining 3% interest, versus our money market that is gaining 0.34. The rate does change with the market, of course, it goes up and down, but she's saying it's around 3%. Because I was looking at, should we do a CD, but that's cumbersome, because we gotta track it, we gotta roll it, and it's not accessible, and if we need it, then we pay a penalty. There are no penalties. This is 100% available at all times, and we gain 3% or whatever the market lets us gain at that time. So we actually put our money to work for us a little bit versus the piddly amount that we're making on this money market. In that, I also found another interesting thing that we need to take care of, and Janine and I talked about it, and we think it's because of the length of our name. But Annette had a tough time finding our account, because they have it listed as Fort Lewis Fire Protection District instead of Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District. So we need to get that changed to say Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District on our account. So that will
So the
probably,
bank account has the completely wrong name?
well, we have Mesa left out.
Yeah.
So yes, it is
So we have to go in and sign again?
I'm sure.
I made it in and back without a flat tire now.
I saw you in there the other day.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I stayed around just in case you were gonna have problems.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
But, that's it seems like a pretty small thing, but it could be a pretty big thing. We need to have continuity throughout everything. So, do you guys have any questions on the intra-fund?
If it's readily accessible, why would we even keep the money market?
You gotta have an account that it's tied to. So we may have to.
Oh, it has to be tied to the
It
money.
has to be tied to an account, and we don't know, Annette, since I hopped in on her and, didn't have a scheduled meeting. We talked on the phone, but then I wanted to talk to her in person. She had to go to another meeting. She doesn't know if our money market account will work, because of the way it was set up, so we may have to set up another bank account. similar to the money market or whatever we need, but Janine and I could work that out. But more than anything, I want everybody to know that we're fully insured. We don't have to worry about that fictitious $250,000 amount that everybody else has to, since we're tax dollars. So that makes me feel better, because I always get nervous when we start throwing more money than that into accounts. But also, we can start making some money on that money, so instead of it just sitting there. And I think that's what we should do for our constituents. Any way we can to try and make a little bit of money, that will help with paying the electric bill.
Can you repeat what the percentages were? This Interfi earns 3%, but the money market earns what?
0.35.
Okay, that's what I wrote down, I was like, that can't be that different? Wow.
Yeah, it's minuscule what we're making on that money market. I mean, it is, when I've looked at it, I'm like, well, why do we even bother? But I believe this would be a good avenue for us to go, since it's 100% accessible. You know, it's gonna take some figuring out between Janine and I what we wanna keep in there. I know that you like to keep 50, you move at 50,000 into the checking account, is what
Well-
you'd like to do, like to.
When it gets low, yeah.
Yeah, when it gets
Yeah.
low. So we'll need to figure out, you know, where we wanna keep things, and if we can tie it to the money market, or if we need to set up an account. But in order for me to do that, I need to have approval in the minutes that I can talk to them about setting this up.
And so, just for history's sake, I was going down this path. It feels like forever ago, but, then the TBK thing became so cumbersome, I was like, I don't even know that we wanna stay at TBK. The board, previous board said, yeah, if it's not working.
Yeah.
So, I was looking at Vega de San Juan's, and so that's why we didn't do this, and so I'm just wondering, I mean, there are just so many things that get messed up, like cards that don't get redone and they get lost somewhere, and so anyway, that's the history on it, and I don't know if that's something we wanna consider as well when we're thinking about it, is do we really wanna stay here? You know, I mean, I just got too swamped to keep going on and trying to figure it out, but.
And it's cumbersome, you know, even these communications I've had with her, although it's not that much, it's taken a day and a half. You know, when TBK, used to be Bank of Durango, it was great, nobody had any problems. I know there's been some problems with TBK, I've banked at TBK for 35 years, but, are we having problems with TBK still, besides the card thing?
Well, I mean, that's a big deal.
Well, the card thing, anywhere is a problem, because everybody's getting hacked so many times.
Well, it's just time and then mess ups and, they're supposed to be ordering it and it doesn't get ordered and I have to go look for it 3 weeks later wondering why it's not there and they say, oh, we know we canceled that card because it was messed up, but we didn't order a new one. So then you just start the process all over again.
Well,
Anyway, and that's not just a one-off, it's happened. So anyway, I'm just telling you for history's sake, I mean, if we wanna keep going and see if things smooth out or whatever, we're there already,
yeah,
so.
and we have a fairly good contact there, although she's not working the teller. She still watches everything for us with Penny. So, I didn't know about that there was some, I know I've had some personal problems with cards, but a lot of times you will just get hacked. My thought is to stay where we are, and if we can get it to where it makes us some money, so I'm gonna need probably a motion on that, if you think, Garrett, and then a motion on making sure somehow we can get the name rectified to where it's Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District, and everything that we have in our file says Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District. It's their computer. And I had run into it before, I think I'm signing for something that I had the same problem with the gal at the teller.
Kind of like a little time to look into this
Sure.
before we just make a
Yep.
decision.
I think your motion wasn't to make a decision, the motion was to have in the minutes that you're allowed to go have a discussion.
Go have a discussion and see.
And then come
what-
back at the
bring
next
more
meeting.
And then I'll bring a
for
formal
discussion.
proposal. You know, we're not gonna do anything. I'll go investigate it,
Okay.
find out the bottom line, find out everything, get the name rectified, and then get, more information on Intrify and determine where we want our dollar amounts, and that's what.
Okay, I misunderstood, I thought you were gonna do it.
No,
It's just-
no, it wouldn't be until you guys approve it. You know, I need approval to go talk to them, but then we need full board approval to do it.
I would like to make a motion that Ben can go talk about this and just find out more. And in that same conversation, go ahead and see if you can't fix our name
Yeah,
on the records.
and I think it is a link problem, but they're gonna have to figure out a way how to put it in
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to allow Ben to speak with TBK in regards to the Intrify network deposits for public funds. Kinda to get the bottom scoop on it to see if it's something that we are truly interested in, and also to work on getting the name of our organization rectified in their system.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor to authorize Ben to speak with TBK on behalf of the board for more information into the Intrify network deposits for public funds. And also to work on getting the name changed in their system for our agency to the proper name. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there anything else on your end?
Do you wanna report on MBE, or do you want me to report on
I have that in my section.
it? Okay, you go ahead. That's it, I'm done.
And then check signing.
Yes.
Did we get the sign-up sheet going around
So,
for
Seen one.
speakers?
Anybody have a piece of rubber paper?
I
I
have
can report out.
a question about one of the expenses.
Okay, we're not moving on just yet. So,
I say I have paper, but I can't reach it.
Aaron had a question for you on
Oh, okay.
one of the expenses.
And it's not
A
just
question in
children,
general.
but just in general questions.
You have one?
There's a cartridge that was purchased for the printer upstairs, and it's like
It was the set, yeah.
$435. But yeah, and so I'm just wondering, I don't know how long they last, but, you know, if it lasts a year or a couple years, that's fine. But if we go through it pretty quickly, I just think we ought to maybe look
Look at
at
the
getting
print.
something a little more economical. So I don't know if you guys should just keep an eye on it and notice the next time you have to, you know, if we have to
I
replace it.
don't have
and-
a history on it.
It
It hasn't
been
been.
right on it the date
I
you
always
get
write
it
the
all.
date on the things,
Yeah.
and I have it in also when I purchased it.
I mean, the printers have gotten to the point now where it's almost cheaper to just throw your printer away. and come
Well,
buy a new one,
exactly,
you know?
yeah, for 200 and
So-
some bucks, we might do.
Yeah, so anyway, I just
I
wanted
mean, in the
to,
past, it hasn't been like they use an astronomical amount, and history, but it may be close to, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll check it out though.
Travis, is that the printer from Station 3?
The one that's sitting right here.
Is it a laser printer, and so this is toner, and that's why that's so
Toner.
expensive?
It's
Yeah.
So it may last, if it lasts a year or so.
Toner will last longer than ink
Yeah.
will. Yeah.
It just gave me a small heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be 5 years since I've been finished. Since it's been used.
Yeah.
Maybe we can finish that.
I have no clue. So let's put a date on it. Good catch.
Any other questions? Thank you.
So tender 7-1 pass, Travis?
Gene, do you happen to have a copy of the stuff for the public comment period? Can you read?
Oh, yeah, you can.
I've all heard you just done. Just trying to make sure I'm third. Give me a chance to get that. Is there any other questions on the treasurer's report? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Make a motion to accept the treasure report.
I can second that.
Got a motion and a second on the floor to accept the treasurer's report. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Passes. Alright. Is there any correspondence that you've received, Jean, from the community?
I don't think so.
Alright, before we open up the floor for public comment, I just wanna read these guidelines real quick. The board encourages comment about the department and the district from its citizens. The board will take all citizen comment under consideration, but will not provide a response during the public comment period. The board asks each participant's comments pertain to district business. Those wanting to address the board during the public comment period are granted 3 minutes to address their topics. Lengthy comments to the board should be submitted in writing. Formal complaints must be filed in writing and submitted via email to the district manager. Comments from the public will be directed to the entire board, not to any individual. If comments are directed to an individual, there will be one verbal warning given. If continued, the offender will be asked to leave. No personal attacks will be allowed. Failure to follow these requirements may cause the public comment period to be terminated. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for public comment, and Mr. Jim Greer.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I wanna know a little bit about the last chief. I wanna know if there was ever a signed contract. The letters and what the paper wrote said he was finishing up stuff, but yet you'd taken his computer in his truck and was locking the door. So how was he getting anything done? And did he have to repay his moving expense and the money he got prior to going to work if he didn't stay so long? Or where is your contract? I had asked for it but never got one.
Thank you, sir. Nick Schmidt?
Oh, yeah, I was, wondering if there was anything done with the past, administration on getting some of our equipment back. I haven't heard anything on it. And then to address, Ben's comment on the length of the name, can you just abbreviate FPD and that would shorten that up a bunch?
Yeah, we're gonna see what we can do, Nick, you bet.
Yeah.
And I think you know, but it was back with Bill Stevenson
Mhm.
that we had some talk on that,
Mhm.
that we were going by Fort Lewis Fire Protection District for a while, and then, so I don't, you know, it may have been way back then, but yeah, we're gonna see what we can do.
Yeah, because at the I remember at the time, like you said, they can only put in so many digits.
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have answered you.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but, yeah, I think if you just abbreviated it, you can get it all in there.
Thank you. Martha Schmidt?
I'd just like to thank you guys for what you do. It's a thankless job, and you're putting in a lot of time with absolutely no repay except for us telling you thank you. And also to our firemen, they're amazing, so.
Thank you. Brad Ray?
I've only got one comment. And I had sent a text out, when I got the chief's truck back. There was 2 locks missing in that truck. The haz gas is missing in that truck. The binoculars and iPad mounts missing in that truck. And I haven't got a response back. So I went through my chain of command and I haven't got an answer back on anything. So there's some missing parts there. I think that Chief Gibbons ought to give us an answer to parts and pieces.
Can you list those again, Brett?
The locks, so we had 4 locks that went up there on the Louis L'Amour Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I installed one of them. I left 3 of them in the truck. There's one there now. 2 of them's gone. Those locks are, I think, $160 a piece, and they were given to us, so we're gonna have to replace them. Okay, and I don't know, the binoculars, I didn't realize they were missing until a day or 2 ago. We had somebody thought there was smoke down south at that U-63, and I went to look at that and reached back to grab the binoculars, and they wasn't in the back seat. So, and then the iPad mount was the other thing I had requested. He had dissected that, and I think he gave the iPad to Russell for his unit because he said he didn't like it down where it was at. But anyway, we're missing parts and pieces, you know, and there's probably $1,000 right there that I think we should write him a letter or something. I don't know what we need to do. I don't know where he's at, but anyway.
Parts and pieces of the iPad?
Huh?
Parts and pieces of the
So the mount that goes there is all missing. Anyway, that's all I've got.
Okay. Thank you. Emily Horvath?
I just had a few different things, things that would make the meetings flow a lot better, just looking into doing a consent agenda. You can look up what all that entails. Basically, you write a policy to include what can be included on the consent agenda, and it's passed with one quick motion to where you don't have to have 17 different motions. And then if there's anything that needs more discussion that's on that consent agenda, you just make a motion to move it to the discussion agenda. It's similar to how county commissioners do their agenda, how they do run their meetings, how Durango Fire runs their meetings. I also think that we need to have board packets for transparency, just like county commissioners, they post a board packet with everything they're looking through. It's really hard when you're sitting on this side of the table and you guys are talking about stuff and we're not able to look at any of the stuff that you're talking about, any of the numbers, any of the, look like your county code, anything. Like, it's really difficult to know what's going on, and that's just a huge piece of transparency. Going on to the chief position. So I know that you guys are going over a job description at some point tonight. Dove Creek Ambulance District just hired their chief, and they had a really great job posting. If you were to look on their Facebook page, it was just a one-page piece that had highlighted things that they had to have, and it made it, they got their chief hired within like 2 to 3 weeks. And I don't know if it was the layout that made it easier, but it was a really great idea to just cut back. Your job description can have more than that in it, but just the job posting would be a lot more beneficial that way. And then the last thing that I had was just a concern about the use of district vehicles. Lately, we've seen district vehicles being used to go do chores in by a child. So someone who may be on the fire board, on the department, but should not be authorized to use those vehicles. I just think that that's a concern. I think that it would be great. I know you guys have your employee handbook that will be approved tonight, but making sure that you have something in there about district vehicle use. I had heard a rumor that the chief had put on 5,000 miles on his district vehicle within a couple of months that he was here. And that obviously is a concern. But just my opinion, district vehicles should be kept here at the district except for the person who is on call. So if Travis is on call and he's responding to calls, he should have his district vehicle, and all other district vehicles should remain here. So otherwise, if they want to take them home, then they would comp the district that mileage driven back and forth to their house. But
Thank you for your time.
Overuse.
Francis Horvath?
Yeah, I guess I just have to say congratulations, you guys were able to pick the worst chief and vote out of spite, made it work, didn't you? Really worked well, great for the taxpayers, great for the firefighters, great for all of us. Yeah. And one thing that I've had some core requests, and I think that, you guys need to get Janine some help with QuickBooks, because I asked for financials and I get back all these zeros, and I even had some, and I thought that is why our audit, that's part of the problem with the audit, is there were things, I know that, and either people are getting paid without having a meeting, without going through a meeting. I don't see it in the minutes, just like the chief's $5,700 for December. I never saw that in the minutes. I never saw where we talked about it. I've been to meetings, and there were different things, like there was a $500 one to Ben that I didn't see what it was for. It didn't say what it was for. It was a reimbursement. There's just, but I should be able to get the financials, and it shouldn't be zeros. So if we need to get some help, we need to get some help, because that's transparency.
Thank you. Travis, did you have anything you wanted to say this time?
Oh, no, I just thought it was
Okay. Thank you. Public comment period is now closed.
So will we get any answers, or will it just go in the dark hole?
Well, I can tell you that some of this we do need to look into. And I can't answer the question for you about the QuickBooks when it comes to the pay, the way that it shows up. That's how it shows up for us as well. And
It shouldn't be that way, though.
And we have had a conversation with Janine, and there was another person that also looked into it as well for us. And it is the way that the QuickBooks initially got set up, and we were in the process of trying to work through that with the auditors They did our previous audit that we are also engaged with now, and they are going to be helping us to get this stuff rectified. So you need to be patient with us on that. So. Next is office manager report out.
There's not much to say, the audit is going and going well. They haven't started, they've just started looking into what I've been submitting. So, just continue to submit and finish giving them what they need, and they're working on it.
Have they had anything unusual that they've requested or anything
No,
at this time?
no.
All pretty much the same as when we started last year.
Yeah.
Anything else from you?
I don't think so. No, Ashley, yes, Ashley. So in, what's the date of that? December, we had that unauthorized debit to Palmetto State that I called the bank on and said, that's not us. They've given us that provisional credit, which was recorded in our transactions in January. So the credit and that unauthorized debit both are showing in those transactions in the previous financials. And it was at that point a temporary credit until they'd investigated, but I still input it. And then we got a letter just today that said that provisional credit is now permanent because they found that it's not legitimate. So that's been solved officially by them.
Okay.
And, yeah, I think that's it.
Alright, next up is the chief report out. Travis.
So, Assistant Chief Russell Greer is in Kentucky right now. This is his report. Out first real quick, Assistant Chief Greer reports out, is currently at NFPA ARC Flash Instructor course in Kentucky. This is paid by his job. Cat sent him there, but it will come back and help us. And will return Friday. Assistant Chief Greer has signed up for an EMS instructor course in May, so that Fort Lewis Mesa can keep training and issuing CEs in-house. That will be in Colorado Springs. We'll be attending a EMS director meeting in Pagosa Springs with Dr. Grisham. Ambulance license in progress for the state for 2026 to 2027. And still correcting issues with image trends, just an ongoing thing as they have updated their NIPers to NIRS. Provider grant update, received the 2 Lucas machines and done training last EMS training forum with Dr. Grisham, and we have the protocols in our EMS protocols, also in the units themselves. CPR devices was the grant approval was $37,472.23. Total cost for them, because when you got everything went up as we know with it. So total cost was $39,419.38. Extrication combi tools, grant approved was $32,324.40. Total cost to date, we ordered $39,950. Striker 4 batteries was grant approved for $2,636. Total cost is $2,741.66. We just received them today. I just picked them up. And then life pack batteries were never ordered. Grant approval life pack 4 batteries was $26,000. Total cost, if we want to order them, is actually went down. It's the only thing that went down is $2,176 and $2,176.40. A lot of numbers. Safety and loss prevention grant is something I would like to look into and get approval to maybe look into it for 2026 is a 50/50 grant. Jeannie can talk a little bit more on it, but it is something we pay into for safety. Right now, we're sitting at $5,083.10 with them, 50/50. So I would like to look into wildland fire shelters. They have a new gym out there. All ours are the older gyms, so they have new gyms out there. So 5 large shelters would be $3,749.75, and 10 regular shelters, which would be a total of 15 shelters, would be $6,699.50 for a total of $10,449.25, being 50% of that back.
So Travis, the grant, the whole grant is for 5,000, or that would be our half?
That would be our, so they will pay 50% up to $5,083.10.
Oh, okay.
So this comes through the CSD pool, and every year they give us an allotment for safety and loss prevention. And we have 5 years, so if one part of that goes to 5 years, it drops off. We're still in good shape as far as we probably have a couple more years before we have something that drops off.
What do you mean by?
Well, they only keep 5 years of that accumulation, so you get to the 6th year, and that latest, the last year, the oldest year, that amount of money would go away.
Year one would go away.
Yes, yeah, if you're remembering the years, year 1 would go away, year 6 would come in, and you'd still have 5 years worth. So, they don't keep it in the
So you
bank.
get 5,
We have 5 years to spend that.
that 5,083.
Well, that's an accumulation of years, so.
Oh, so each year it accumulates?
Yes.
And then the 6th year falls off, so you would never make more than,
5,000.
yeah.
Well, I mean, and the amount changes from year to year.
Right now, per year, it's $1,583.
That's what we got this time.
So
It's
it's a
not
total of how
always-
much, Travis? 5,000?
Right now, we're sitting at $5,083 is what we have, and here is the,
And those 15 shelters would be 10,449?
10,449.25.
So then, do you still have to like write a grant? I mean,
Kind of, we have to do an
It's an
application, yeah.
application.
it's more of an application, so you just
But
tell
it
them
is a
everything
grant,
you
they call
want.
it a grant.
Okay.
So there's the video link here to watch and a link to fill out the
You
application.
just go into the application.
Okay. So you could get 5 large,
5 large shelters, and then 10 regular shelters would be a total of 15 shelters, which would be first line
Yeah,
line firefighters.
so they'd pay us 5,000, and then we have to pay the other 5,000?
The 50,
Okay, so that makes the
5,300.
total 10,000, okay, I understand.
Looks like we pay 5,300.
Okay.
Is this Gen 4? No?
5.
5?
Yeah, I don't know.
And everything we have is,
4s. And we have some 4s and some 3s.
yeah,
3s are on the trucks right now.
okay.
Jarvis, what is the due date on this?
Do what?
Is there a due date that we have to?
Send them? No, but if we're gonna do it, we better do it before wildland season, because everyone's gonna order them.
Is there even any availability now?
Some will be on back order on some of them.
Yeah, because we're waiting to see.
Large is back order right now, but we'd be on the list talking to John, but we get the regulars in. Or I can go make everyone run and we can all fit in regulars.
Travis, can you forward me just the whole email?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have an actual website to go to, it's like a hot link to click here.
Yeah.
And then I can jump on that and read the FAQ.
Alright, we're good on that one.
Thanks.
I'll continue. Alright, posting a new firefighters, supervisor, facility and maintenance position. We had 4 in-house apply for it. 3 pulled shifts, and 1 is pulled out after the interview due to better benefits at the current job. Command group has finalized the picks and will be offering hopefully a job letter and job description around April 15th. this year, so tomorrow. New positions, I would like to use the salary of the open chief position and place for scheduled shifts during the summer months. We got a really busy season coming up. Moving some of that salary into those scheduled shifts, some of our volunteers, until we fill that position, can come on during the summer months as we go. I'd also like to move $5,000 of that dollar to, I know you changed it, it was pay per call, responder reimbursement. To up it to 20,000. I think we're gonna have a lot of calls this year. We're already busting them up pretty good. Also, I'd like to think about hiring a cleaning person for Station 1, Station 3, for a yearly income of about $2,000 per year to clean the stations. I can tell you right now, I'm trying to stay ahead of it, but even firefighters and stuff like that, just to have them, another set person wiping things down would be nice. ISO.
How many times a week would that happen?
So it would be in a month, and it'd be a contract. So this would be a contract person coming in and making a contract with us. What I would see, and we've had it in the past, is 3 times a month here and 1 time at Station 1 now that we're not, or Station 3 now that we're not using that much, unless we call them in because we drag in a ton of mud because it comes in or right before a board meeting. But that's a contract that something would be presented to the board, because it'd be a cleaning person's contract. So that would be something they would present to you. This is how many times I'll clean it, these are the supplies I offer, or whatever it is. ISO. Tender 7-1 passed pump testing April 19th. Thanks to the Assistant Chief Rusty Greer finding there's 1 wire that came from factory, it rubbed through, going into the main computer on the engine. It's twisted around and zip tied, and it rubbed through, and when it vibrate, when we rev it up to try to get higher RPMs, it would cut itself out. So we hooked up the computer and we went around just shaking wires, and we found the dirty little guy and fixed it and passed with flying colors. It was a long time. That was a long day. Flow testing on SCBAs completed on April 3rd with 30 packs passing. 6 SCB packs did not pass flow testing and now will be used as parts. So we have a total of 30 packs. 25 SCBA bottles are out of hydro, and we'll have to go in for their hydro test. And last thing I really got to do for ISO is the apparatus inventory. Just got to get down and make sure it has everything, do all the paperwork for it. But everything else, the water positions with lat longs and how much water is all that, I have that pretty much, should have it done in the next 2 weeks, and also on map. Calls for training, we had 22 calls this past month, 4 MVAs, 13 medicals, and 5 fires, with an average of 8 responders per call. We've had this month, since last board meeting, we've had 62 hours of training, 24 firefighters at our highest, 7 firefighters at our lowest, and that 7 is our firefighter 1 class, with an average of 15 responders per training. Oh, it's on scan, okay. Saturday, April 18th, this Saturday, Mancus Fire will be holding a training that we're going to. There'll be 5 firefighters and 1 officer going to this training. We'll be doing some live fire over those with our mutual aid. Station 6, we have finished moving water and playing with water and checking those out. Thanks to the Assistant Chief Brad Ray and Mancus, we have filled those tanks up, checked them. They're good to go, so the action list, we can knock that off. We have 32 800 megahertz radios came from Durango. They've been programmed with new batteries. We will move to the 800 when command group feels the time is right and all firefighters are trained. I've also been talking to Chief Krupa with Durango and dispatch to get that all set up where it is safe to do that changeover. We have a very busy fire season with that, so we don't want to make that change too quickly and cut out our federal, which is VHF, and get ourselves where we don't have communication with them. We have enough BKs in our truck radios. We have a pretty good plan going on this. We're shooting for possibly the end of the month or into May, but not 100%. It's gonna be when we feel that our firefighters are the safest. I have all the paperwork for the grants. I got the grant paperwork, all the receipts. As soon as I get everyone to say that there is a zero balance owed to them, I can send in all the paperwork to that to get reimbursed from the state. Talking to Mike Krupa about our active 911. Randy talking to Chief Black and the 100 Club. They're trying to get full benefits for firefighters. So that's something we're talking to the 100 Club about. Tomorrow's meeting, I have a meeting with Chief Krupa and all the operations, and then I have a chief meeting Thursday at 9 with all the chiefs in our district. That's that one. Club. We also we're doing some training for the 88th annual Tri-State firefighters. It's just a thing we go to get training. We send a team up there, we get some training, and it's just a good time, good training, very low cost to go over there and get some certifications. Another meeting tomorrow, another meeting, and then the Rob with the state, we've been talking about he took over Shauna Lagarza position, and they are doing a fire expo on Saturday, May 9th. They have requested that I go up there with all the other chiefs, and we sit up there, we talk to people, and we talked about the new code that's coming out. Last week was a ton of meetings with the fire resiliency code, and also they're wanting to update the building code, so that was fun reading those meetings for hours and hours, but not a lot we're into. It's a lot with the county. They're here to read. And then the auxiliary's putting the May 2nd thing on here at Station 1, and then we also have the CFFA training course, and that'll be October 7th in Durango. We have EMTs going starting May with Upper Pine for their EMT, and that should close out our class with Firefighter 1 in June. They'll start that class. I think that's everything. Questions? Concerns?
How many are going to EMTs?
Got 3, and then we have 3 new volunteers this month. One is actually in EMT class right now, so he'll finish up in June, and then so I'll have 2 fresh EMTs come June, and then I have those ones going to that class, and they'll finish out in the fall.
So Charlotte, this that you gave us, this is the completed?
Which one?
The
Provider.
provider grant.
So everything but the life pack batteries that we have to order if we want to receive them. Everything else, they've been completing, I'm just waiting from an email that they got the check, the checks are cleared, BO is zero balance, then I can send it to the state with pictures, serial numbers, all that, and then we'll get reimbursed just like we did the magazine.
That's the check that hasn't cleared, Jimmy.
So are we gonna order the batteries?
I think it would be, who's the one still, yeah, okay.
So can you give me the total on that again? I thought we already approved that.
The batteries?
Yeah.
I did too, that's why.
We did, they were ordered.
Yeah, well,
So-
they're already approved.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were approved.
Yeah,
So,
we're-
well, we just found out, I just found out today, I got the email and the striker batteries, the burning batteries we just received. So, now today, I'm talking to him, to Sean, and he said, no, they weren't ordered, so I didn't want to double order them and we get 8 in and go for
Exactly.
4. So, now that he says, nope, they're not, I'll go ahead and press send and get them.
Okay, okay, that's where I was
Yeah, you're already
getting
approved,
confused,
yeah.
okay.
But just so you know, the standing of where we are, and then
Perfect.
get pictures of them, where you guys can have them. But
Okay.
I got it all pictures.
So I have only seen this Lucas machine thing online, looking at pictures of it. Could you show us, I mean, it doesn't have to be right this minute, but could we have a time that you show us this machine working? Cause it seems pretty amazing to me.
It's great, I just need someone to volunteer.
Do we have a
No, it's
resuscitation
great,
Annie we can put
and
on?
we put Rescue Annie on there, and it goes to town, so.
That looks
And
amazing.
honestly, May 2nd, I got some firefighters, it wouldn't be a bad thing to show the public what we have.
There you go.
Cool. Anybody else have questions for Travis?
Please don't.
Do we need to decide on this?
Oh, yeah, that 50/50 grant.
I guess my question is if Travis can find the 5,000 in the budget
Well,
that he can spend it on, I
That's
kinda
all.
feel like it's your
That's-
decision.
Yeah, it's your decision. If you want. Sounds like we need it.
Could be that season. Hope we don't need it, actually.
Well,
Never need
we need them, yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
We need them to not use them.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
you're
need
not
them
asking
on the
us
shelf.
to move funds around or anything, right? So I just kinda feel like,
Yeah, I think it's his call.
I'm just letting you know what's out there.
Yeah,
okay, no, I appreciate it, but.
yeah. All the new SCBA's passed. I think it's the older ones we're talking about that didn't pass.
Yeah. And these were stored,
The training packs.
yeah, and they were just stored up in shelves and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I found them, they just didn't make it.
We still got plenty.
Yes, we got 3. So we have, 9 in reserve.
Good. Good, thank you, Travis. Thank you for that.
Alright. Everybody. Moving on to unfinished business. So at our last board meeting, we get voted to approve an update for the corporate request policy. And it was brought to our attention that something was incorrect on it, and we did our research and we were able to verify that it was incorrect, so we did not implement that. So right now, we would like to go over this revised version that is correct. And if everybody will bear with me 1 second, I'm gonna take a quick drink and then I will read it. All right. Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District Policy on Responding to Open Records Requests. Revision adopted April 14th, 2026. The Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District, the district, Board of Directors fully supports and complies with all federal and state laws relating to retention, protection, and disclosure of district records, including but not limited to the Colorado Opens Records Act, Title 24, Article 72, Part 2, Colorado Revised Statutes, CORA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, HIPAA, and the privacy rule by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which interprets and implements HIPAA. It is the policy of this district that all public records shall be open for inspection by any person at reasonable times except as otherwise prohibited by law. Public records are defined by CORA as all writings made or maintained by the district, regardless of the format or medium of the records. Subject to certain exceptions, public records expressly include email communications. The district maintains an archive of all email messages for emergency backup purposes only. Such archived email communications are not individually retrievable and are specifically not intended to create a public record. By action of the Board of Directors of the district, the Secretary of the Board is hereby designated as the official custodian of records, responsible for the maintenance, care, and keeping of all records of the district. The official custodian of records shall have the authority to designate such agents as he or she shall determine appropriate to perform any and all acts necessary to enforce and execute the provisions of this policy. Upon receipt, request by a citizen, entity, federal or state agency, district member, subpoena, administrative or court order, or other legal process to inspect and or copy any district records collectively referred to as a records request, should be immediately sent to the custodian of records. The following are general policies concerning the release of records. 1. Every records request shall be submitted to the district's custodian of records in writing and be specific as to the information desired. 2. If any questions arise as to the portability of fully complying with the records request, the custodian of records shall immediately forward it to the district's legal counsel. 3. The district's legal counsel shall determine the district's obligations under the applicable federal and or state laws. If the district is permitted to comply with the records request in whole or in part, the district's legal counsel will so notify the district's custodian of records, who will assemble and disclosable requested documents for inspection and or copying in accordance with applicable federal and or state laws. 4. If the district's legal counsel determines the district is not permitted by federal or state law to comply with the records request in whole or in part, legal counsel shall provide a written response to the party submitting the records request, stating the legal basis upon which the records request in whole or in part is being denied. 5. The custodian of records may set a time during normal office hours and the place for records to be inspected, and require that the custodian of records or a delegated employee be present while records are examined. Pursuant to CORA, all records must be made available for inspection within 3 working days unless extenuating circumstances exist. Extenuating circumstances also includes if the staff member needed to retrieve records is not scheduled to work during the initial response period. The working days will occur only on days the staff member has scheduled office hours and is not gone for other reasons. The deadline may be extended by 7 days, working days, if extenuating circumstances exist. And if possible, the requesting party is notified of the delay within the statutory period. A person granted the right to inspect district records will also be furnished copies requested at a cost not to exceed 25 cents per page in standard size and format. The charge for providing a copy, printout, or photograph of a public record in a format other than a standard page will be assessed at the actual cost of production. Additionally, in those, a standard page will be assessed at the actual cost of production. Oh, excuse me, I jumped back a line. Additionally, in those cases where the location or extent of specific documents must be researched and documents must be retrieved, sorted, or reviewed for applicability to the request, and such process requires 1 or more hours of staff time, the district may charge a research and retrieval fee not to exceed $41 per hour, calculated in 15-minute increments, and no charge shall be made for the first hour of time extended in connection with research and retrieval of public records. Any fee charged for research and retrieval will be the same for all requesting parties, whether the person requesting the records is an individual, a representative of media, a public or private entity, or a for-profit or non-profit entity. Upon request for records transmission by a person seeking a copy of any public record, the custodian will transmit a copy of the records by U.S. mail, other delivery services, fax, or electronic mail. No transmission fees will be charged to the records requester for transmitting public records via electronic mail. Within 5 days of receiving the request, the custodian will notify the record requester that a copy of the record is available, but will only be sent to the requester once the custodian either receives payment or makes arrangements for receiving payment for all costs associated with records transmission and for all other fees lawfully allowed, unless recovery of all or any portions of such costs or fees has been waived by the custodian. The custodian will include an estimate of the costs and fees that will be charged. Number 8, when practical, the copy, printout, or photograph of the requested record will be made in the place where the record is kept, but if it is impractical to do so, the custodian of the records may allow arrangements to be made for the copy, printout, or photograph to be made at other facilities. If other facilities are necessary, the cost of providing requested records will be paid by the person making the request. This policy shall supersede any previous policies related to records requests adopted this 14th day of April 2026 by a vote of the Board of Directors of Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District. To be signed by myself and Aaron. Any questions on that? At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to accept this.
I can make the motion to accept this. This is, looks like we've hit on everything, so. I propose that we accept the revised court request policy as presented tonight.
Second?
We got a motion and a second on the floor to accept the policy on responding to open records requests. All in favor, say aye.
Alright.
All opposed, same sign. Passes. We just have those. Alright. Next item is the employee handbook approval.
Have we had our lawyer look at this yet? Kind of go over it to make sure
It's all done.
we're not
It's done.
in violation of anything.
I don't believe it's been sent to a lawyer.
I think we probably need to, just to protect us.
I believe, MBE offered to review it as well. I don't
Okay.
know would be less expensive.
Okay, I just feel we need to,
Yeah, they offered to look at it,
Yeah, Kimberly said she would look at it.
and they do it on a hourly above.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm assuming she might charge us, but she didn't say anything about that, so.
I agree it needs to be forwarded to one of them.
yeah.
I think MBE could be able
Yeah, she would be
to,
good.
because, yeah, I agree, I think they're cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, the other question I have is MBE might be able to get it done pretty quickly because it's part of
Well,
the
you know
audit.
what? Yeah, I don't know, good golly, could we drag them down on the audit?
Well, what if if you've gone through it, you feel okay about it, they don't have any exceptions or say anything needs to
I
be
got,
done.
I got some questions that I'd like somebody to look at. You know, it's,
If it's sufficient, if it's good and she looks at it, could you approve it tonight with?
conditional approval.
Yes, so that way if it is good, then we are not waiting for the next board meeting or another special meeting to get it
Yeah,
approved. Because it does need.
I don't feel we can do
Can you give me some examples of what you have questions on? Cause there might be things that are just
that. Well,
verbiage or something like that, because seriously, I put so many hours into this thing.
there's,
This is my baby now.
I, first off, I want to say thank you to Aaron and Jill for doing this. And it's absolutely nothing on anything that you've done.
And I'm not taking it personal, it's like, but if something needs to be fixed,
Well,
what are some examples?
you guys caught the biggest one, was the chief, you know, your correction that you did, that you sent out the email on.
Oh, just doing the titles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
those titles, and then, more than anything, just overall, I want somebody else to look at it, cause I'm not an expert on this, at all. And if somebody from the outside looks at it with experience in this, cause I'm not an HR person, I'm not gonna profess that I am.
Well, I would feel much more comfortable if we had a professional look it over because there are a lot of legalities. My only concern is that we have a hard deadline on the audit. So I'm wondering if we could, Janine could maybe call MBE tomorrow and find out how quickly they could do it. We can always meet
I
again
think
and
she'll
approve
do that
it.
pretty quickly.
But we can't just.
I don't wanna
wait a
slow
month or
down
two.
in the
Yes.
least.
Well, and they have other people that can read it besides just them. I'm just saying, we can't wait.
She's had experience there, so she personally said she would look at it.
Yeah, and that was Kimberly?
Yeah.
I think, talk to her and then, but I don't wanna do conditional approval prior to somebody looking at it. Cause there's, I mean, it's gonna be a month. You guys have spent 2 months working on
Since November.
it. And
Months.
I had that other one chopped up pretty hard, and I didn't chop this one at all because, a lot of the things I chop with, guys, doesn't need to be an act that we need to worry about.
When is the due date for the audit? June or July?
They're due, June is when the due date is actually July 31st,
July
but their plan is June.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah, let's send it to,
I think we should, to protect all of us.
I would also recommend that we look at the handbook more frequently than, what's the time period that this has been looked at now? Over 18 years since it's been looked at previous? That maybe, I was suggesting even once a month at a board meeting, we take a section, just look at it and just make sure we know what it says. And if we were doing one section at a time over the course of a year, you would actually read the whole book.
Yep.
And it would be more meaningful to us because we would have actually just looked at it together. And not necessarily one of those things where we have to read it out loud, we all know how to read. But just to look at it and see what does it actually say within there. And are there things that do times change, and are there things we need to update and clarify?
Exactly.
I mean, it ended up being 48 pages, 47 pages.
It's incredibly long,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of work, guys, we did a great job. And I don't wanna say that I know enough about it to make any changes, so that's why I want somebody else to look at it.
Same here.
Well, even looking just for consistency, which were things that we caught. Maybe, like the bank, for instance, not calling the name of our special district the correct name. Maybe that happened throughout this document, or not calling jobs the same title. And just looking for consistency was a good thing.
Yep. So do we need a motion on that? Or just have Janine,
I think we can just have her do it.
I think just have Janine do it, get with Kimberly. Just, you know what our problem is.
Well, isn't this actually one of the action items? This is just part of that process.
Yeah.
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 Next on the unfinished business is chief job description approval.
Oh, you know.
Did I
Yeah,
see that
it's
one?
over.
That's fine, Janine. I grabbed one spot.
I got a question on the working conditions. So second page, first bullet on the second, or third page, I'm sorry, which, under the 100 pounds, so it'd be the next bullet under the 100 pounds. So pushing and carrying during emergency operations, I don't know if we wanna just, this job requires frequent physical
I would
activities.
just take out during emergency and just, yeah,
Yeah.
just leave it at that.
Just delete
Yep.
that.
And just do it, do it.
Yeah.
under required qualifications, it says that just a valid driver's license, a CDL is not required.
No, they're exempt.
Yeah, we're exempt.
Okay. Does that mean I can drive the fire truck?
No.
No. Is a board member, you're still considered part of the community, you're not considered an active responder, so therefore you would be required to hold a CDL in order to drive
Okay.
one of them. Even ambulance, in the event of an extreme emergency, I'm sure that, that could be waived. But you know, we as a board or a member of the community would have to be commandeered by the chief or his designee to be able to have
And
somebody.
Okay,
you still have to have a CDL.
okay.
Right.
I think we need to change that like we did last month, input district approved physical exam, since we're still.
I was
looking
actually
into
just looking at that,
Okay.
yeah. On page 2, the first bullet point, coordinate wildland fire mitigation preparedness and response efforts in partnership with the FPC and the wildland fire coordinator. We don't currently have a wildland fire coordinator.
But does the position exist?
It did, but currently no, it does not.
Well, I guess what my question is, does the position exist and it's just not filled right now?
It's kind of falls into if the chief wants that position. If the chief wants a wildland fire coordinator.
Oh, sorry.
That-
Yeah, okay,
That's all I'm getting at.
yeah.
Travis, do you want that position?
Isn't that what this, former trial was.
Yeah.
It's still there. I asked him if I should leave it, and he said yes.
We are mostly wildland. Is a big, big part, and we're talking to all our federal agencies and so. It's kinda like the EMS officer has to talk to Dr. Grisham, has to talk to, you know, licensing and all that, so. That's, it's up to you guys, but I would say what we do is wildland, what we're known for out here is wildland, so to have someone to be in that position, doesn't say it has to be a paid, it can be a volunteer,
Yeah, it can
So-
be.
we're a volunteer department, let's get back to it.
So keeping that in there should be just fine.
Yeah,
That was just kind of the question that I had, so. Under required qualifications, the associate's or bachelor's degree is preferred. Just probably move that down to preferred qualifications.
yeah, that's sort of out of place.
Yeah.
Would we wanna put in, under preferred, would we wanna put fire instructor one?
In order to be fire officer, you have to be fire instructor.
Yeah. Well,
So, yeah. Yeah, should probably list that, so.
So that's a required then, not just a preferred.
Well, in order to become a fire officer one, you also have to be a fire instructor one.
It's
So
a,
it
it's
says
a
or
pre-req,
fire instructor.
it's a pre-req.
But fire officer or fire instructor, so in order to become a fire officer one, you have to have your fire instructor certification
So do you
in
want
order
to
to
just
get that.
lump
Yeah,
it?
we can just put that.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was reading that last little section wrong.
yeah, that's my point too, yeah, we just flip it.
So we move that up to required, is that what you mean?
No, you can
Just
leave
fire
it,
instructor goes first.
yeah, fire instructor goes first, just leave it.
Yeah, fire instructor 1/2, and then the fire officer would follow either one or two.
Okay.
It's pretty clean.
You could also just take out fire instructor completely, cause to get your fire officer 1 and 2, you have to have it, so.
Well, in the state of Colorado, it's that way, I'm not sure if that
Yeah,
is the same through every state.
if,
I
well, they
just-
may change it.
I still like it on there because, let's just say they
Just
have
look
their
on that.
instructor, it still looks better,
Yeah.
you know, it's still preferred.
So it's like, when I do my fire instructor and fire officer, is done through the state, they wouldn't even accept you into the class unless you were, EMT. Yeah. So.
We got one guy going to the Air Force. He's still on. That just happened. He's still here. They're volunteers. I mean, yes and no.
Do we have a lot of Spanish speaking people out in this area?
Yes.
I'm getting more and more.
So do we
I
want
would
in
like
this, what is
Some of them that's
In the
it, forward
preferred.
on? Yeah,
Some of them.
must be able to read, right?
Next month.
Communicate English,
So,
can we put in there also
it also matters
Spanish.
when calls happen.
is a plus or something like that?
Well, you can put it under
Just additional.
preferred.
Preferred,
additional language.
Dual language, bilingual or something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean.
I mean, there's so many apps
bonus,
out
but
there.
I don't
now,
know, it's
too.
a preferred, the majority of people in this community.
It's not necessarily the people in the community, it's people
People
traveling
going
through.
People traveling through that,
And it's, you know, I think, boy, I sure wish I
I just didn't know if we ever encounter that where people speak
Well,
Spanish and don't speak any English.
well,
Do
we
we
do.
have a communicator or something?
Interpreter.
Or interpreter, yeah.
I don't know, my husband's on cheap anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think we could say something like that, guys,
So some of these
But-
people, like these brand new guys that keep.
as a preferred,
They don't have anything.
but I don't, no way it should be required.
They just keep-
Well, no, not required.
Because we could go into, you know,
I think there's so many multiple languages.
Kristen.
You can recognize.
Yeah, bilingual is a plus.
Yeah, there's something
Certified.
I don't know, maybe.
Or just under preferred, just
Is,
bilingual.
they're in training right now.
yeah.
So like you have this guy that's a.
Or just try finding someone that's, is an interpreter that we can call.
Call the sheriff's office.
Firefighter
Do
one.
they have an interpreter?
This is,
I-
so EMS,
just so I don't know.
wildland, and then special operations.
Sometimes can be a long ride.
Yeah.
It just is, few changes, not really.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 minor changes.
Mm-hmm.
Can we still approve it, or with those minor changes?
There's nothing earth shattering
Okay.
in it. So, I'll make a motion that we accept the job description for fire chief with the minor changes that we noted tonight. With those changes being made, prior to it being posted.
Got a motion and a second to approve the job description for, fire chief with some very minor corrections to be made, with those corrections being made for it to be approved. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Passes.
Right, yeah.
Right, yeah. Alright. Action item review.
Right, so we can take the water tank test integrity off.
Yes.
And we can complete the job description. And then the new ones, Ben, are the ones that I took from the auditor.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put your engineers on there. I think some of these have been done.
Yeah.
I just didn't know which ones, so if you wanna tell me, I'll update
Okay,
it.
so the second one, we're doing that,
So you're,
signature
it's
on first.
completed.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's on,
Okay,
yeah.
it's done.
implemented.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's implemented. Okay.
Uh-huh. The next one, Janine, the running schedule of accrued vacation sick leave,
Yeah, that's going.
that's ongoing, and preload it,
That's not what the policy says.
so do we need to change policy on this?
Well, policy in the handbook
Yeah,
has it accruing, which works,
yeah, well, that works,
yeah, because the
Okay.
policy handles all of the.
okay.
I guess my question is where are you maintaining that running schedule?
The running schedule of PTO
Yeah, cause that was their biggie on that.
in QuickBooks?
So that has been fixed where it's shown
It's in,
correctly?
it's in the process of doing that.
Okay, so
It is still ongoing, it's not like it's, you know, I'm still manually doing things, so I haven't figured that. I'm working on that.
okay, so it's in progress.
I've been down here thinking about it, yeah.
Okay, so we'll change that to in progress.
I think the other one,
And then the next one was just talking about if we need to update that policy.
Yeah.
which is in this handbook.
Yeah, so that's in the
We're gonna
handbook,
have to,
so
yeah.
that's in progress.
And I actually, there was another one on the end here, but it was specific for 2024, so I got rid of it.
Oh, on this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
That one's been done, right? Consider obtaining the final invoices before making the final payment.
you know, for the most part, that is what we do. I mean, yeah. At times that would get out of lines if you were trying to, like the end of the year, get it paid before the end of the year, so it's on that budget, that was when that came into play. But I wait for statements to pay in.
So, do I put that completed, in progress?
Yeah, no, I think, put that completed.
So we did do the pension
We did do
schedule, so are we just gonna do that every year, Ben, or what?
Well, it's something that we can't do.
No, but are we gonna have MDE do it?
They'll do it this year, they did it last year, they'll do it this year.
Well, I think you'd already said, last year you said you'd like them to do that,
Yeah,
so yeah, I'm
I
sure.
think we're gonna have to do it every year, just to keep up on it, so we don't have.
Stay on top of it.
Yeah, cause it's gonna,
I mean,
you know,
is
we
it-
have a lot
So
of
do we need
people-
to put this in a policy somewhere? Do we need to put it in
we
with
need
their
to talk to them and see
pensions?
how they want it, you know, what the best way
How
to
we
do it.
document that needs to be done?
Yeah, so I think Janine and I had talked about talking to Kimberly together without delaying the audit process. So I think we need to talk.
I'll ask her specifically about that.
Yeah.
How do you document that that's what you're doing? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's documented, it's done, yeah.
Okay, that one's done, right? The
Mhm.
time card's been, that one's been
Yeah,
completed.
we're doing every time card that we have on it.
Okay. Are you still working
Yes,
on?
yes.
Well,
That's the training, that's coming.
one employee, I guess,
That's the one. Just passed.
I don't know what to do.
I moved it, so do you want to talk to
Focus
Michelle
on
about that as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's talk about
Is
that
it in
too.
Nashville's and Parker
And then,
but we-
is the last one that I have, is that the one you removed?
Oh, that's the one, because it
Yeah,
was 2020.
December 31st, 2024, that's the one you removed.
So we'll take that one off.
That one's completely out.
Okay. So, in progress. Completed, in progress. And then what was the first one, was it in progress or?
It's in progress. Yeah, and I skipped over that, sorry.
I gotta check the date.
And we'll have to talk to her about that.
Hey.
Thanks for the list.
Hmm?
Thanks for the list.
That's approved.
So now,
Okay. Travis already updated us on the firefighter maintenance supervisor position, and also updated us on the transition over to Andrew Meckers. Okay. Anything else under unfinished business that's not on here? record at this meeting. We have been notified, we have not been served as of yet, but we have been notified that there is a suit that is being brought against the board by an attorney for possible open meeting violations. And we are waiting to be served before we really take much action on that. Ben has, we were asked by our attorney to forward the notification that we received to our insurance company, so that way they're aware of it and they're able to be ready, so when the time comes that we do actually get served, that they're prepared for it.
So has that been done?
Yes.
Yes, that has been done.
So as soon as you get served, or I assume it's gonna be you? Could be any of us, I suppose, so Travis, if you're served, get it to Janine as fast as you can, you know, it could be anybody that's standing here at the station. Get it to us and we'll forward it on to the insurance company, and the insurance company will forward it on to their attorney. I've had conversations
have we
with both.
provided him with the contact?
What's that?
Did we provide him with the contact?
Yeah. We provided him with what we have so far.
No, did you provide Matt Rowan with the contact?
Not until we receive notice.
Oh, that's what the insurance company
That's what
said?
they're saying.
Okay.
They will not contact him until it is we get served, and then he'll contact them. Or the attorney will contact them.
So, looking up this particular attorney that's doing this action, I just wanna discuss that we do not do things that are below, under the table, or underhanded, or things like that. We strive so hard to do things that are above board, and do things the way that they're supposed to be done. When I've looked up this particular attorney, I'm appalled at what he's doing. He's a predator, and he is just going from district to district looking for ways to serve his own selfish purpose. And he's the only person gonna make money out of this for himself. And I don't feel that we have anything that is of value to him other than, this looks to me like it's a small claims thing perhaps.
Not
Looking
sure.
at his MO is to do small claims, wanting to be paid out in checks of $32.80 so that he can make money. And I'm disgusted by this.
Yeah, that's,
As we all are. We're in a
Yeah.
position that we have to address it, and I think we're addressing it the proper way.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
You know, and how we got here, we don't know.
we won't know until we're actually served
Yeah,
with
we don't-
paperwork. We don't even know truly what it's about.
So when you get that, do we all get a copy of it, or does it all just go straight to the attorney, or how are we going to handle that? So that we all are aware.
We'll make everybody aware.
Yeah.
You know, conversations that we have with the attorney, whoever is covered under attorney-client confidentiality. So, we'll get to the adjuster, and then the adjuster will go to their attorney. And then the attorney will contact whoever they need to. Don't really know who that will be.
Okay.
You know, I think since I made contact first, it'll probably be me, and then I'll disseminate to the president, and the president can get it to everybody.
Okay.
So there's that. Next on new business is grants.
So I put this on here because I'm confused. I've heard things back and forth that Chris Gibbons did apply for some small grants, and then I've heard no, he didn't apply for any grants, and so I'm wondering if I could get clarification, and if so, what grants did he apply for, so we make sure that we're following up with them.
So I talked to him about that, if we could get a list of them, and he said he was gonna try to get a list of them, but said most of them are on the computer. So, That's kind of where I'm at.
where.
Was there some sort of visibility?
I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to even find where he got the batteries from. Like, I don't know if he was sending it to his personal, because I was having to contact Stryker and Lucas and get information, and then they would forward me everything. But I couldn't find anything, on the chief itself. So,
Let me say something too. You know, when he was traveling up here, well, so Isaac Greer came up with a guardian, guardian angel. And he said, man, that's way cool. And we mentioned that to Chris, and Chris, the next day, he's like, I wrote a grant, and I got 3 of them, okay? So he got here, he had 3 of them. And we're like, how do you get a grant? I mean, literally driving up here, and it's like, how do you get them? And then, I don't know, it was a month later, we were in there, we passed them out, and didn't he get like 4 more or something? He said he wrote another grant, and 3 more. And we've been waiting for the shoe to drop on this thing.
What are they, Brad?
Well, it's,
I got them.
Yeah, show them to
Go ahead,
us, I have
explain
no
it.
idea what you're talking about.
I'll tell you what, they're way cool, because especially at night, we've been going on calls, and we'll hang them on a mailbox or out of the street, on a fence post, whatever, and they're bright. When he lights them things up, it's only a little digital square about that big, but it's where you can take and put it on your helmet.
So it just lets people know where you are, where to go.
Yes, so if you were out on say, a car accident, if everybody's got them on, you can see where everybody's wandering around, you know where all your folks are at, right?
Okay.
But as soon as we brought it up, it's like, I wrote a grant for that, and I'm like, you got a grant, and then bam, there was 3 of them here, and it's like, I mean, so our expectation was this guy was gonna be able to, knowing better that you don't get them on Saturday night driving down the road. So I felt like we're gonna get caught. They're about $125 a piece, so I figured we're gonna get caught paying for 6 of them somewhere along the way, you know.
But if they're, I guess if they're worth it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's helped us on 3 different calls already, so it's been way awesome.
Yeah, well, if it's helping us, that's great.
But it's,
Don't know what the.
I like to go over the bottom line when you're
representation
spending money. If you're spending money and then tell us you got a grant, and then you're gonna get a bill, I don't know, you know, so. I think there's a surprise coming.
Wow, saw that coming around the corner.
So we'll set them on, they've got a magnet on them, so you can set them on a mailbox or on a post or whatever, or hang them on your,
This way, your
they're
trust.
made to go on your lapel, they make 3 or 4 different mounts, they're way cool.
Is there anything saying over
You can't miss them, I mean, you can see them 2 or 3 miles away coming,
Yeah.
you know.
So,
I think it's a great tool, I just don't know if we're gonna get caught with them, you know, I don't know that.
And then when we asked him if it was a grant, he told us he's gonna be mad at us because he just begged for them. And it wasn't a grant, so I don't know.
But
you
you guys,
saying he paid for them?
Huh?
You saying he paid for them?
When we asked, we said, can we see this grant? Because we want to learn how to write grants that fast. That's pretty cool. He said, you're really gonna be mad at me. I just called them and they sent it to us as a demo.
I think.
And that's how the email reads, a demo. So I don't know. I reached back to the company and they're like, oh no, yeah, it's a demo. Now, is that a demo 6 months? And we paid for them, we return them. I'm not 100% sure because I don't see
But you're
any
gonna,
of the emails.
You don't have a paper trail for
They're
them.
not.
Yeah.
no, but
So, just real quick, I've got that website pulled up, and there's a spot here where you can request them. And according to this, you will have approximately a month to test the device or devices at no cost. After testing is complete, they're supposed to reach out for feedback. At that time, you can either keep them and pay for them or return them.
well, we've still got them, and it's been
So-
going on 3 months, so.
Well, they don't contact us.
I
They
can't-
may be contacting him.
Well, that's true, his name's all over it, so,
Yeah.
you know.
And you'll,
I don't know, I just wanted to toss that out there, that
And
there's,
if you can tell me where it is on the computer, but anything I've seen or came across, it does not look like any grants are out
Yeah,
there.
that's
But
all.
I don't need slammed in the back of the head with one either.
Yeah, that's all I got out of him was everything's on the computer. He said he'd try getting a list to me, just like the locks. He said he would, and have them.
Okay.
So,
Well, and I figured it was gonna be like that, but, you know, if we could get them back, that'd be sweet,
yeah,
you know.
but I don't know.
So I think there's a few surprises out there that we don't know, you know.
Or there's a bill coming.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like $900.
Well, yeah.
But if they're worth it, you might as well.
Oh, they're awesome. Don't get me
They're
wrong.
awesome, yeah.
I don't need
Sounds
slammed in the back of the
good.
head with a shovel.
Right.
I just don't like being blindsided, that's it.
Well, I'd like to see everybody have them, but we weren't prepared for that, you know, 20 guys, you know, 2 or 3
That's
thousand.
$800,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
And no, because he got magnets and clips and helmet.
Oh, you got.
Oh, we got all sorts of stuff.
He got little gadgets here and there.
Yeah, no, each one of those can be like $20,
Yeah.
$40, so
It's gonna add up.
you gotta pay for that too, you know. I think it's a great tool, and for safety, it's awesome,
Yeah,
but I don't like surprises,
well, that's it.
you know.
It might be something that we wanna look at,
Yeah,
get in a couple of years.
yeah,
We got a big bunch of them this year.
you're right.
So the second part of the grant thing is I was thinking if we shouldn't be forecasting to see what funds we might have available in the next 1 to 3 years so that we can look at getting some of these.
We're gonna have,
grants.
and
So on that note, Janine, do you have the notes from the previous board about their 5-year plan, long range plan? Is there any way that you could get them to at least one of us, so that way we can kind of start compiling that? Cause it'd be really nice to know what they had planned, to see if that's something that
Yeah,
would still fit.
yeah, I mean, there are notes, some of these notes
Yeah.
that haven't been compiled, so, yeah.
yeah, 'cause
Because realistically, that's what we really need to do. We need, at some point, we need to do a work session and sit down and do, you know, like a 1
Strategic plan.
to 5-year plan. You know, hey, where do we wanna see this department in a year? Where do we wanna see it in 5 years? What are things that need to be done?
we're gonna have to, 'cause the audit's gonna take 20,000 out of the budget. Fuel is gonna be an unknown.
I was gonna bring that up too. We need to really conserve fuel. Cause, I don't know if it's gonna go down anytime soon. I mean, barrel of oil's 88 today, but who knows what it'll be tomorrow. It
Well,
might
that
be
barrel
back
of
up to
oil, it doesn't
150.
matter what barrel of oil is, it's 5, 6
Yeah,
bucks.
it's not gonna come down anytime soon, especially with Memorial Day coming up.
Cause we paid 470, what was it on that we paid from Brennan?
Yeah.
Or we talked off, Travis?
We topped off. I lived through war. I know exactly what was gonna happen. So as soon as they said, I was like, oh, fill them up.
And I'm sure you're doing everything you can. We can't not run calls, we have to run
Yeah.
calls,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
but everything else is.
I've tried to tell people to grab packs and just we'll pack out, but no listens. We got these, just
Well, you guys, and I followed oil a long time, and it goes up way fast, like tomorrow,
Mhm.
and it takes months to come down, so,
It's gonna be a year.
you know, so it's dropped like 10 or 12 bucks today. It was huge, but you're not gonna see that, cause that's the futures, not today, you know, so.
I know last time we got high information, we couldn't do anything.
Is there anything else on grants?
Yeah.
No, that was all, I
Stainless
just
steel.
was curious, I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that for the forecasting, I think that we are gonna need to you schedule a work session where we can sit down and discuss, you know, hey, where do we see it? Try to come up with a plan. So. Next is cleaning and painting of Station 3 upstairs apartment.
So Jill and I happen to be up there.
We went and looked at it.
And, it's not bad, you know, it just needs some loving. It just needs a good paint job and, you know, a good scrubbing. The carpet's dirty, it's old, but I don't see us replacing anytime soon, but a good steam cleaning and a paint. And we could probably even maybe get some volunteers if we could just get the paint.
Yeah.
And just go in there and paint it, but.
Is that something we could have that cleaning crew, if we hired a cleaning crew to go up and do a deep clean on it?
Probably not all the $2,000.
It'd be,
Yeah.
over the one time.
But I'm just saying.
Charge to clean it. And then,
And maybe that's just something you put in the contract.
Yeah.
Like if there is a, whatever, it can be up to such and such amount,
But you know,
again, that's a contract for you guys, not.
just general cleaning up, like the carpets need to be shampooed.
Yeah.
yeah,
And the walls, they honestly just need some paint. It's, you know how things get old,
oh, yeah.
things just age and just need to be refreshed.
It's been in there since '04.
Since it was built.
Yeah.
But that same day, I noticed that the flag was all tattered, and then Travis got right on that, replaced the flag. So, you know, things that just need to be
Yeah.
done are getting done, so.
Well, should we get bids? Paint it or?
You know, the scary part though is, I just went with a friend to buy a 5-gallon can of paint.
Yeah. You're looking at $100 to $150 for.
No, it was over almost 300. It was 280 for a semi-gloss. So,
Oh,
Was that the 5-gallon bucket, the big one? Yeah.
so prices have skyrocketed.
Do we still have paint left over up there, Travis? So we may have paint for it.
Oh, I have tons of paint.
Well, if somebody went in there and taped it and used an airless, you could paint that whole thing in an hour.
Yeah.
You know, make the roof and the walls the same color.
Yeah.
You taped off appliances and stuff, I mean, it wouldn't take nothing. You're gonna have firefighters or somebody else go up there with a paintbrush and a roller. It's not gonna be so pretty, it's gonna take,
I know someone that
and
has
paint's
a,
everywhere.
I know someone that has a paint,
Huh?
a sprayer. I'll look into it and see if they.
Well, you can rent them. You can
I
rent
got
'em.
one, I
Oh,
got a
do you?
brand new one.
I've got two.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
And you've got paint.
Look at it.
The biggest thing's taping stuff off, right?
Yeah.
And
It
like
takes
that-
longer to mask anything off.
And 703 said he is not gonna go fishing, so he volunteered.
Well, okay, so here we are, because there's a training coming up, and Kathy's already paid for the tickets for me to go fishing up in the Madison River in Montana. And it happens to be, I think, it's gonna be very close to that same time when the class is. So I wrote fishing with a question mark, so that's why that's being funny about that. I'm going fishing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just worried, maybe this is something the board could do as a,
That could be our work session.
Yeah, we'd have
as
to,
a
if we
service,
post
just
it.
as something to give to the department, you know.
But I think there's blinds downstairs to add to that, like the blinds have been knocked out of the window, those need to be repaired or replaced.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not there anymore.
I'm just gonna go through little tiny things.
Can we
make
get
it
sheets
nice.
with the clips?
They were torn out.
It worked for me for years.
Sheet with push pin,
Yep.
yeah. These are blinds that look like this.
So to go down there in the station, we need to just have a good look over of it and go through and make the small repairs that need, such as
Yeah.
painting, blinds, kind of freshen stuff up a little.
You know, it's not that bad. I went up the other day and I hadn't been up there, and I'm the same way. It's like a little bit of paint, clean the carpet,
Yeah.
pretty good,
It'd be
Mhm.
good.
yeah.
But the, you know, if you get on it, then it's not as big a job as if you wait.
Anything else under new business?
I do wanna say, I don't know if this is new business or where it actually falls, but, I wanna thank Aaron for sending out a postcard that we read at church on Sunday.
I think the auxiliary did that, did you?
Did the auxiliary do it?
did it.
Yeah.
Did you say the word auxiliary? I thought you were saying the word Aaron, never mind.
No,
So the
yeah,
auxiliary
that's
sent
the
a
auxiliary
card
that does that.
to
yeah.
church that,
Which is what they do every time.
which is what they do, thanking, showing gratitude for, we provided a meal for one of the trainings a while back. And it was nice to get that, nice to, and the ladies there weren't expecting that when it was read, but it was nice to be appreciated. And I know others feel the same way. And Travis, who most recently hosted your training, was it the Methodist?
Not all the churches do, so, the last one was the Hesperus, the one before that was the Methodist, and so they all, and rural firefighter in October does the same thing, and it's great, community. And we have 5, it's the 4-H, will come out and do one, so it's just community, right, that's what we are.
Well, it was nice.
Kinda like this writable. Sign up, scan that.
Come on, Jim.
Probably not.
Back, yeah.
Tell you what, I
Alright, hearing no other new business, we do not have anything requiring executive session, as nothing is posted. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Can I give a suggestion now that your meeting's over? Has the board looked into hiring a retirement company, putting your money in a company, so you're not paying, invest your company like we were at one time, so you're not, it does all your book work for you on the retirement, so you're not having to pay somebody to bring it up to date every audit.
Give us 1 second on it, because I've got a motion on the floor right now.
I'm sorry.
I've got a motion and a second on the floor to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. 8:34.
Sweet.
Alright.
I got firefighter 1 training
Can
tomorrow.
you answer any
We
of
have
the
a fire 1 training tomorrow,
going on?
and then we got car education time.
Come again, Jim. I wasn't really.
Part of the retirement program, we went through a retirement company. They figured everything out, they had it every year, they could tell us who got how much, how it was split up. And that was just a fee they done, it was a small fee. But I think that would be cheaper if your auditors have to figure it every year or somebody else. I think you'd be ahead to go through them, because they would cut the checks and
Well-
My
everything.
shoulder is,
You know, the problem we got, Jim, is that what we could done was never done.
What?
It was never done. So we had to build it from there, so it shouldn't be much. You know, we're not doing very much, so. I'll try and find out what they're gonna say. 14 for the cost. We'll see, yeah, I completely agree. This whole thing.
So, and I think, I think they would give it.